Is it possible to promote yourself and your business in a social setting without being an obnoxious jerk? We'll get into it. Hey folks, Todd Tramonte here with Market Experts Realty, Todd Tramonte Home Selling Team, and Real Estate Growth Systems with another weekly real estate agent Q&A video. Our question this week is really, how do you position yourself in person without being an obnoxious jerk? It's a good question, by the way, because most agents get this very, very, very wrong. Our entire industry is pretty well known for annoying people with our business cards and our Instagram posts and our unsolicited communications. So pretty much nobody at the party wants to talk to the real estate agent or the insurance agent because they're always begging for business. So don't be that person. But there are a few things that you can do, and what you can do is be interested in the other person. So most people have already heard, be more interested than interesting, but be prepared to create a little scenario of reciprocity. So when folks are introducing themselves and saying what they do or what they don't do, be interested in them. Ask a question to them, genuinely listen, but ask them the question that you would like them to ask to you. Human nature is to reciprocate. So if you were to say to someone, tell me what you do, tell me what you love about it, they are highly likely to say to you, well, what do you do? What do you love about it, right? And then be prepared to have a really great answer. There's a great script that I've sort of borrowed from Joe Stump over at By Referral Only. We've sort of made it our own, but we talk about what we do by telling them a quick story if you have time for that. For a lot of people, this feels really, really uncomfortable, so find a way that this is comfortable to you. But instead of saying, I'm in real estate, which is, by the way, the worst possible answer, maybe the only worst one would be, I'm a realtor. Most people are not going to respond to that by immediately associating you with expertise, class, and integrity. They're going to think, oh boy, another one. So don't say I'm in real estate. Don't say I'm a realtor, but tell them a quick story. Or one of the favorites in our office as we train and role play through these things is by saying, I'll tell you what I do. Let me just tell you what I did today. Right? Well, let me just tell you about my day real quick. I came into the office, I spent 2 or 3 hours on the phone following up and getting in touch with people. I went out and showed property to 2 or 3 friends and a new client I have based on a referral. I swung by the title company and sat in on a closing, gave my clients a big high five, went back to the office for a couple of meetings, and now I'm here. I am a real estate agent, but really I think of myself, and I like my clients to think of me as more of a consultant. So that's kind of what I do, is I help people buy property. I specialize in only working with home buyers, but I am a real estate agent, just not the traditional kind. Something like that. Probably took me 15 seconds to say all of that, but it's a lot more interesting and it's a lot less annoying than saying I'm a realtor. Now, you may run across some scripts that are much more flowery and wordy than that. And if that works for you, great. You can say things like, the best way to tell you what I do is with a quick story, and then tell them a story about a scenario in which you helped someone. Tailor that scenario to your ideal client. Right? For example, if you had a really exciting day last Thursday that would be really interesting to tell somebody about, then tell them about that day. It doesn't have to be today. I'll tell you what I do. Let me tell you about one day last week. This was kind of a normal day for me. This is what I did. This is where I went. This is who I helped. I had a blast. I absolutely love it. That's kind of what I do. I do think it's important to at least acknowledge that you're a real estate agent. It's ethically our responsibility, but it's also important to distance yourself from a traditional real estate agent. And I think that's one of the things we want to have as a primary goal if someone asks you what you do, is you want to say, I am a real estate agent, but not the way you're thinking. I'm different. I'm full-time. I'm an expert. I have a staff. I have a team. I have an office. Whatever's true for you, but you don't want them to immediately assume that you're a part-time agent that begs for business, that isn't very good, that's overpaid, that underserves, and that's what most people think about our industry. So that's one of the ways you can position yourself in a face-to-face social or even a professional environment. Obviously, you're probably not doing this with other real estate agents, but if you're in a purely networking environment like a chamber event or a B&I event, this is still very good. It's way better in a social environment where people aren't beating each other over the head with heavy explanations of what they do, but they're just trying to get to know who they're talking to. So that's a good exercise to do there. Another way to position yourself in a social environment is, honestly, this is kind of a no-brainer, but a lot of people don't think about it. is if you're going to be a real estate professional, then this career is going to impact all parts of your life. It doesn't have to dominate all parts of your life, but it is going to impact it. So if you're going to pick your kids up at baseball practice or tennis practice or at the school play or just in the carpool line, think about the way people perceive you, right? Your appearance is important. Now, it doesn't mean you need to wear a suit and tie everywhere you go, but you do want people to view you the way you want people to view you, and it's something you need to think about. If you want to be viewed as more professional than most real estate agents, you probably don't want to show up at your kid's school or at their play when their other friends' parents are potential clients of yours, looking like a truly unprofessional person. Now, if that stresses you out, I'm sorry, but it is important. It's part of the overall positioning of what we do. If you live in a small community, that's a good thing for you because you can market to and position yourself in a small community much easier than in a larger community. But it also means people are always paying attention. So you need to think about the ways that you show up in your marketplace. You need to look for opportunities to volunteer and be in front of a lot of people where you can actually serve and be genuine, but also have an opportunity to truly position yourself. You do need to think about the ways that people interact with you, even if it's a bad customer experience type deal. How are you going to interact with that person in a way that you know positions you in your marketplace as a professional that other people would want to work with? So those are a few quick tips. None of them are necessarily groundbreaking. The number one thing I would say when you're in a social setting is utilize the natural reciprocity factor that almost all of us are born with. Do for someone what you would like them to do for you. Ask them a question you would like them to ask you, and then be prepared to answer that in a way that positions you really, really well, that leads towards people wanting to do business with you. So hopefully this is valuable. Click like if you liked the video. Share it with absolutely anybody you'd like to, publicly or directly and privately. I'd be happy to have you do that. And then subscribe to our channel. We'll keep making great videos for you in the future. Comment below. We'll answer any questions you have. We might make a video on your question, or if it's important for you for that to happen offline, just let us know in the comments. We'd be happy to do that. Subscribe to our channel. We'll keep making great videos, and we will talk to you on the next one. Take care.